Welcome to another episode of last week's Comics Today. I have a pretty short stack, and even as I'm saying these words now, I don't know what I'm going to say about the Mazebook. But let's get into it, and maybe I'll figure it out by the time I get there. So first we have Dark Knights of Steel. This is issue 7. We are now officially halfway through the series, and I've been enjoying every issue of this. We have yet another Dan Mora cover, and it looks fantastic. This is the... I'm not sure what I can say that isn't going to be spoilers. So these are the preview pages that DC put out. So I can at least show these off because they should have theoretically already been seen by other people. So this gives a sense of the art and a sense of what is happening in this story. You've got 3 kingdoms. You've got the L's, you've got the Pierces, and Themyscira is in there as well. War is coming, and there are enough references to other events in this that I hope, certainly, that the series is going to continue on after this initial 12-issue series. Injustice certainly did, Deceased did as well, and in addition to this story being excellent, there are additionally, I guess that's 2 additions, but there are seeds to other events that I don't think will be covered in the next few issues. So I definitely hope Dark Knights of Steel comes back for additional series. It's great, and I think that's all I'm going to say. I just showed off the art, which is excellent, and the writing is spectacular. That's all I have to say. Up next is Batman Killing Time. I guess it's a pretty Batman-heavy week this week, because you can see already I've got Poison Ivy lined up. Again, issue 4 of 6 here. We've got Batman in the foreground. We've got this new character named The Help in the background. A bit more information is learned about him, but I'm just going to say it now. I have decided I'm going to finish reading the series. This is not an instance where I am waiting for the trade that is eventually going to go on my shelf. This is going to be something that either gets filed or gets sold on, really. But it's ultimately fine. It's also extremely annoying. I've talked previously about how much characters swear in this series, and there is a new character here in the diner that swears more than I think anyone else in the series. So she is extremely annoying. And again, it's not that I have anything against swears. I swear all the goddamn time. It's just she is... it's the level of unnecessity. That doesn't seem like a word. It's unnecessary, and it's just bad writing. Like, it's so irritating. As an audience member, it just grates my skin. It's terrible. It is terrible. The art's nice, though. And I can't tell... I was saying this throughout when I was reading Supergirl, that I can't tell whether or not King's writing is going to be good until the end of the series. And this is... the story might ultimately be good. It's fine so far. It's one of the most non-linear series I've read, which I don't have a problem with. It's just the pieces haven't come together yet, and I don't think that they will until the final issue, and then at that point it's like, oh, well, you've already gotten all my money, DC. Good job. So it's not something I recommend. It might ultimately be good, and I don't recommend it currently. Poison Ivy has a new series, so this is issue 1. This is a special cover, and I wasn't sure about this. I read the preview pages, which again are these first few pages, so these are available online if you would like to read it. And it's interesting. But one of the guys at my comic shop made it his pick of the week, and just last week I was saying I don't know if I could trust him anymore because he also recommended a Tynion book, and Tynion, in my opinion, has never been good. So that this employee would choose a Tynion title as his pick of the week, I'm like, I don't know if I can trust him anymore. He picked Poison Ivy, however, and I said, alright, I'll give it a shot. And I did enjoy it. I've haven't really been paying attention to what's been going on in Gotham, again, because Tinian was writing, and I just ignored the whole thing, the whole mess. I'm going to be checking out the new writers that are coming up in a month or two. I think it's next month. Issues 125 and I don't know what the other one, 1026? I don't know. So Batman is clearly someone that I have an interest in, but I have been ignoring everything that has been happening the last few years. References are made to some of those events here, specifically everything related to Poison Ivy, and I only am aware of those through headlines that I've seen on comic news sites. So this would have benefited from some editor text boxes, some notes, some references to prior events, and they are not present here, which sucks. You might have sold some more copies. Anyway, the art's good, the story is interesting. This is, I believe, a 6-issue miniseries. Could be wrong. So I will probably be along for the ride unless anything horrendous happens. We get this cool shot here. I've always liked Poison Ivy. She's an awesome character, great design, and a level of complexity, you know, depth that's not just insanity. I mean, there are reasons that she's doing what she's doing, and I find her a fascinating character. So, when she's done well, I'm on board. The non-Batman book this week is Twig issue 2. I thoroughly enjoyed issue 1. It is, so Twig is this character here. This guy is not quite as menacing as he appears. But, Scotty Young and Kyle Strahm. Kyle Strahm, I mentioned during the first issue, did Spread with Justin Jordan years ago. I am used to him drawing grotesque monsters of teeth and blood. And here, this is a very lovely adventure story. It's incredibly well done. The writing's great. I've been enjoying Scotty Young's writing for a number of years now. The art is phenomenal. If you are at all interested in a great adventure story, do not pass up Twig. And really, I think that's all I'm going to say. So one of my favorite books of the week is going to get the least words from me. Just get it, is what I'm saying. Not quite lastly, but I also grabbed the Mazebook from Dark Horse. This is the collection of Mazebook that Lemire put out, I want to say last year, but really, since it's already June, I honestly can't tell time. And I haven't been able to tell time for quite a while. But, so I am a big-time fan of Lemire's, and I knew right away that I wasn't going to get the single issues that were coming out. I was just going to wait for what I imagined was inevitable hardcover, and that is exactly what is here. The series, thankfully, is excellent. At its core, I'm not sure. I'll show some beginning pages because at some point, spoilers, although this might be less spoilers than usual. So here's a good page if you are at all unfamiliar with Lemire's work when he draws his own stuff. It is, I think, excellent. At the core is a father. His daughter has died, and even though years have passed, he is still having a hard time adjusting to this fact. It's, I've considered many different ways that I could talk about this book, and I might still do a separate video of this. There are a lot of things I want to say, and I don't think this is the correct format to say those things. So I'm going to save that conversation for now, and I will circle back. My intention is to circle back to this. Plans change, however, because there were a few things that I was supposed to get in the mail this week, and they did not show up. I did also grab, this is Murder Falcon, the oversized hardcover. This is the original. It came out in 2019. So when I'm talking about a desire to do an oversized hardcover for Step by Bloody Step, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Someone had the foresight to say, hey, maybe we should oversize Murder Falcon. And thankfully, they did. This book is fantastic. We'll probably do a video on this, although somebody else already has, and maybe I'll just link you to that one instead. But this is fantastic. There are few books. I was just talking about Twig a minute ago. You were there for that. And in that, I was saying that if you want a great adventure story, fantasy, obviously, to grab this. And ordinarily, that's how I recommend things, is I target the recommendations based on who the audience is. So I need to know something about the person in order to make a recommendation, is what I'm trying to say. I know that they'll like fantasy, they'll like sci-fi, they'll like romance, whatever. I can pick something, target to them. There are a few things that I just broadly recommend, and Murder Falcon happens to be one of those. Even though it is a story about death metal and a cyborg anthropomorphic Falcon, the series is phenomenal. And I will be giving this away. I haven't decided to whom this will go yet, possibly Dan, or there's another guy I have in mind. Either way, I will be getting rid of this copy because now I have the gorgeous oversized hardcover. Anyway, this is, I believe, everything that I got this week, because again, that package is lost, which ruins some plans that I had to talk about something, to shoot some videos. But yes, this is everything that I got this week. And I'm going to say pick of the week goes to Dark Knights of Steel. I am loving how this story is unfolding. All of the twists on well-known characters that make sense even though it is a completely different world. All of it feels organic. It feels like elements of those characters that, you know, in a different situation would still be true to those characters. It is a fantastic read, and I would love to see this world explored more. Fingers crossed. But that is everything that I got this week. As always, I get all of my books from a local comic shop. If you don't know where yours is, you can use this URL to find the one closest to you. Thanks for watching.